The story of Apple, a name synonymous with innovation and design, begins in a seemingly ordinary place, a modest garage in Los Altos, California. This wasn't just any garage, it was the crucible where a technological revolution was about to be forged. It was here, amidst the clutter of tools and electronic components, that the dynamic duo of Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak first joined forces, their minds buzzing with ideas that would reshape the world. Jobs, with his relentless drive and keen eye for aesthetics, was the visionary, the one who could see the potential in technology to transform everyday life. He was obsessed with not just making technology functional, but also beautiful and simple, user-friendly and accessible to everyone. A philosophy that would become a hallmark of Apple's products. Wozniak, on the other hand, was the engineering wizard, a brilliant mind capable of translating Jobs' grand visions into tangible reality. Together, they built the Apple I, a computer initially intended for hobbyists and tech enthusiasts, a testament to Wozniak's ingenuity. But Jobs recognized that its potential extended far beyond this niche market, envisioning a future where computers were tools for everyone. With his persuasive charm and unwavering belief in their product, Jobs convinced Wozniak to sell the Apple I as a fully assembled motherboard, a ready-to-use product, rather than just a kit of parts for technically savvy users. This bold move was a game-changer, aiming to make computers accessible and approachable to a wider audience. No longer would computers be confined to the realm of tech enthusiasts and specialists, they were now poised to enter the mainstream. Briefly, a third partner, Ronald Wayne, joined the fledgling company, contributing by drafting the initial founding agreement and even designing the very first Apple logo. However, his tenure was short-lived as he made the decision to leave after just 11 days, a decision he would later come to regret, as he missed out on the company's meteoric rise and the billions that came with it. Undeterred, Jobs secured their first significant order, an order for 50 Apple I computers from the Byte Shop, a pioneering computer store. Suddenly the garage was transformed into a makeshift production line, a hive of activity as they worked tirelessly to fulfill the order. Their efforts were fueled by youthful ambition and an unwavering belief in the potential of their creation. The Apple I in its essence was simply a circuit board, but it represented a significant leap forward in the world of personal computing, a fully functional computer condensed onto a single integrated board. Jobs' insistence on pre-assembly, a seemingly small detail, signaled a new era in computing, an era where computers were designed for everyone, not just a select few experts. The garage, in retrospect, was more than just a workplace, it was the humble birthplace of a technological revolution that would transform the world. Apple's very foundation was built on a potent combination of passion, the bonds of friendship, and a shared dream of making technology accessible and empowering for all. From these incredibly humble beginnings in a garage filled with potential, they dared to set out and challenge the established industry giants armed with nothing but their ingenuity and determination. The seeds of Apple's extraordinary future were carefully planted in the fertile ground of that Los Altos garage. And as they embarked on this ambitious endeavor, the journey had only just begun, with countless challenges and triumphs lying ahead. The Apple's modest success, while significant, fueled a bigger ambition, a vision that extended far beyond the confines of a simple circuit board. It was time for the Apple II. Jobs envisioned a friendly, ready-to-use computer, a machine that would seamlessly integrate into people's lives. This meant encasing it in a sleek plastic case, a departure from the cold metallic boxes of the past. And to ensure a pleasant user experience, it needed a silent power supply, eliminating the distracting hum that plagued other computers. Wozniak, with his unparalleled engineering skills, meticulously engineered the Apple II. He equipped it with color graphics, a feature that was revolutionary at the time, bringing vibrancy to the digital world. He also developed an innovative and perhaps more importantly, an affordable floppy disk drive, making data storage and retrieval much easier for the average user. The Apple II was a leap, a significant advancement over its predecessor and the competition. It was designed to be a true home appliance, accessible and user-friendly, not just a complex project for dedicated hobbyists. Mike Markkula, an early investor who recognized the immense potential, brought crucial funding and invaluable business expertise to the table. His contributions were instrumental in shaping Apple from a promising idea into a real, sustainable company. Launched in 1977, amidst much anticipation, the Apple II was an instant hit, captivating the public and exceeding all expectations. It quickly became a defining product, shaping and dominating the burgeoning personal computer market. It found its way into schools, becoming an educational tool for a new generation. It also became a fixture in homes, bringing computing power to everyday families. And it revolutionized businesses worldwide, streamlining operations and boosting productivity. Software like VisiCalc, the first spreadsheet program, made it indispensable for work, transforming how businesses manage their finances. And of course, it provided endless hours of entertainment and play. The Apple II transformed Apple from a small venture from a humble garage startup, fueled by passion and innovation, into a major industry player, a force to be reckoned with in the world of technology. With the Apple II leading the charge, the personal computer revolution had truly begun, changing the world as we knew it. By the early 1980s, Apple had transformed from a garage startup into a publicly traded success story. The Apple II was a smash hit, and the company was riding high on a wave of innovation and market enthusiasm. But for Steve Jobs, success was never enough. He wanted more than just market share. He wanted to revolutionize the way people interacted with technology. Inspired by a visit to Xerox PARC and its groundbreaking graphical user interface, Jobs saw the future of computing. He envisioned a computer that was accessible and intuitive, and he launched the ambitious Macintosh project to bring that vision to life. Jobs hand-picked and assembled a passionate, almost fanatical team, pushing them relentlessly to create not just a computer, but a truly revolutionary product, a computer for everyone. The Macintosh introduced groundbreaking features like the mouse, the desktop interface, and intuitive icons, fundamentally changing how people interacted with computers, making them intuitive and creative tools for the masses. Its iconic 1984 Super Bowl ad, a cinematic masterpiece, boldly declared Apple's rebellion against the status quo and conformity. The Mac itself was a technical marvel, but its relatively high price point and a limited selection of available software initially slowed its widespread adoption. As sales figures lagged behind expectations, internal tensions within Apple began to grow, and Jobs' relentless pursuit of perfection and uncompromising vision increasingly clashed with the more pragmatic approach of Apple's management. The internal conflict reached a boiling point, and in 1985 Jobs was ultimately forced out of the company he had co-founded. It was the culmination of a bitter power struggle, a clash of visions and personalities. The visionary genius behind the Macintosh found himself in exile, banished from his own creation and the company he had poured his heart and soul into. Despite the internal turmoil, the Macintosh had undeniably set new standards for personal computing, but in the wake of Jobs' departure, Apple's future trajectory was suddenly thrown into uncertainty. The price of achieving such perfection had proven to be exceptionally high, both financially and personally. Apple was now left to navigate the complexities of the market and the challenges of the future without its original driving visionary at the helm. Without Jobs, Apple entered its wilderness years. The Mac found a niche in desktop publishing, but innovation slowed. The product line became confusing, diluting Apple's brand. Strategic missteps like late OS licensing and failed products like the Newton hurt the company. Leadership turnover and declining market share plagued the 1990s. By 1997, Apple was near bankruptcy, its vision lost. The company that once promised to change the world was on the brink. In 1996, Apple acquired Next, bringing Steve Jobs back. Jobs quickly became interim CEO, finding Apple in crisis. He slashed the bloated product line, focusing on just 4 core products. This ruthless clarity revived Apple's mission. The iMac, launched in 1998, was bold, colorful, and internet-ready, an instant hit. Jobs forged a crucial partnership with Microsoft, ensuring Office for Mac, and a vital cash infusion. He overhauled Apple's supply chain and launched Apple stores, transforming the buying experience. These moves stabilized Apple and set the stage for a comeback. Jobs didn't just save Apple, he reinvented it. The company was ready for its next revolution. Apple's future was bright once again. With Apple stable, Jobs looked beyond computers. In 2001, Apple launched the iPod. Simple, elegant, and able to hold 1,000 songs. The iTunes Store followed, making legal digital music mainstream. Apple's seamless ecosystem transformed the music industry. Next came the iPhone in 2007. A phone, iPod, and internet device in one. Its multi-touch screen and app store redefined mobile technology. The iPhone's impact was immediate, spawning a new era of mobile apps and connectivity. In 2010, the iPad created a new device category between phone and laptop. The iPod, iPhone, and iPad cemented Apple as a leader in consumer tech. Apple didn't just make products, it reshaped culture. The iRevolution was underway. Apple's influence now reached far beyond computers. The world would never be the same. Steve Jobs' death in 2011 marked the end of an era. Tim Cook took the helm, focusing on operational excellence and new product categories. Under Cook, Apple launched the Apple Watch and AirPods, expanding its ecosystem. Services like Apple Music and iCloud became major revenue streams. Apple championed privacy and sustainability, shaping its modern identity. Today, Apple stands as a global titan, its culture of design and simplicity intact. The company's journey from garage to powerhouse is a testament to vision and relentless innovation. Apple's legacy lives on, in its products, its culture, and the world it changed.